You're a cop in everything but name.
Saving Gotham's not my job anymore.
I do this, there's no turning back.
No, there isn't.
GCPD is not Gotham. Gotham listens to me.
We're big girls. We can handle ourselves.
That was awesome.
I want an army. An army like me.
I don't think Gotham's running out of monsters anytime soon.
Camren, you look amazing.
Thank you, you too.
I love your outfits.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Gotham Season 3. This is amazing. This is one of the best shows on TV.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Let's start with this. Mad City. Tell us why.
The city's going mad.
Fair enough.
It's pretty self-explanatory.
I agree. Could you say why it's going mad? How it's going mad? How mad it actually is?
I mean, I think, to be honest, it's always been mad, but in Season 2, at the very end of Season 2, Hugo Strange's experiments and monsters were released into the city. So Season 3, we pick up 6 months later, and Jim Gordon isn't part of the GCPD anymore. He's just a bounty hunter who's trying to, you know, make a living. And he's trying to capture these monsters, and everybody's just kind of freaking out because they have all these mutated humans and / Arkham Asylum victims on the loose. So everyone's pretty freaked out.
How's Selina doing with it?
She's chilling. I mean, nothing really phases
She's
her.
not freaked out.
I mean, she's freaked out because she's actually in on it, because she's part of Fish Mooney's entourage, which consists of the monsters, but I think she's just trying to worry about herself, so it's not like she's just like, oh, there are monsters, I can't. No, she's just kind of like, well, you can kill me, but I'm gonna stay away from you so I don't die.
Let's go back to the beginning and talk about how you became Catwoman, or Selina, excuse me. You were a dancer, right?
I am, yeah.
You are a dancer, excuse me.
Well, once a dancer, always a dancer.
Fair enough. And what did your audition consist of? Did it consist of being able to showcase moves of any kind and how you sort of move around?
Yeah, in the breakdown, it actually said actress must be good at cat movements. So for my...
Well, what does that mean?
Well, exactly.
Crawling around and...
Well, I was like, cat movements, okay. So for my final audition, they didn't actually want to see anything until the final audition. They said it wasn't required, but I'm trying to get a job. Like, even if it's not mandatory to do cat movements, I want this job, so I'm gonna do cat movements. So I looked up Cat the Musical on YouTube, found some inspiration through that, and then just...
Like, kind of like...
Yeah, it's very much Fosse inspired. And then I stalked my cat for 3 days, took some notes from him, and then I just choreographed a set of movements and did it.
I'm kind of curious about the actresses who got that audition line and said, cat movements, I can't do those, threw them out the window.
Oh.
It doesn't seem that doesn't seem that difficult to imagine what a cat does.
Right. I mean, I think it could go either way. Like, if I wasn't a dancer, I don't think I would have gotten this role, because not to bash anyone who's not a dancer, but I think the average person who sees cat movements automatically thinks crawl or scratch. But because of my dance background, I was like, okay, cats are very fluid, they're very sensual, and I connected that to Fosse and jazz and ballet in a way. So I got to kind of fuse everything that I've been trained since I was 5 and kind of do my thing. So it was really cool.
It becomes a bit more interpretive rather than literal.
Exactly, and it's all about, with Selina, because she's not very vocal, I definitely depend on her body language to vocalize how she's feeling without saying anything, and that's definitely, my dance has definitely helped me with that.
And you started taking parkour, right? You did some parkour lessons when the show got going?
I did, yeah. I
A woo for parkour. Cool.
Yes. No, it was actually funny because I started it before the pilot, just in case. I loved it, and then I went back to it between the pilot and when we first started. And my coach and I, my coach taught me some stuff, and then he was like, "Okay, we're gonna do an obstacle course, and you can't just run around like a child on this obstacle course. You actually have to use what we just spent the past 30 minutes learning." So I was like, yeah, I got this. I just jumped off of a mat and sprained my ankle. Mind you, I have to be at work in 2 weeks, and I was like, and so, anyways,
You didn't stick with the parkour?
Well, no, I still do it, but I'm getting more into dance now. I'm getting back into it, and I had to act like my foot wasn't sprained when I got to work. It was still sprained when I got to work, but I was like, if I tell anyone, they're not gonna let me do anything. And the dancer in me, I was like, I'm just gonna deal with the pain, which wasn't that painful, but I'm gonna deal with the pain and just roll with it. I don't know how I got there, but
I asked you to go there. I have to say, it must be a really exciting time for a dancer / actress at the moment, because it seems like the movie musical, the TV musical, all these things are making a comeback. These things that utilize the skills of both acting and dancing at the same time. Does it feel that way to you?
In a way, yeah. I mean, 5 years ago, dance was looked at in a totally different way, and I think just 3 years ago, with the show Dance Moms and So You Think You Can Dance was really what put dancers on the map. But just recently, in the last 3 years, society has actually, and the industries as well, they've actually recognized dancers as artists themselves and not just backup props for an artist. And I think it's great. You see people like Twitch and Allison and dancers like that. They're not just dancers, they're artists, and it's really great to see that dancers are actually being recognized for the hard work that they put in, and I think that's great.
Now, do you watch Gotham when you're not in it? Do you watch your episodes or other episodes?
Oh, yeah.
Because it's beautiful to look at.
It's like a 45-minute movie. I mean, I hate watching myself. But I love watching the episodes because they're so good.
Have you found any sort of tools to be able to watch yourself, or do you just sort of deal with the hate and try to move through it?
I just kind of gaze at the TV with a blank expression, just like, okay, when is my scene gonna be over? I want to see Penguin and Nigma. Thank you. Okay, cool. Great. I mean, it's not that I don't like the work I do. It's just, it's weird for me. I don't know.
Oh, it's weird to watch yourself because you don't ever want to watch yourself and go, I did a great job in that scene. And then you also don't want to be too critical because you'll hurt your own feelings. So it's better to just, like you said, blank stare.
It's just like blank. And I mean, I'm starting to learn about it, but when you listen to yourself on a voicemail of your friends and you're like, my voice sounds like that? That's basically how I feel whenever I watch myself.
I never watch my interviews back. I can't hear my voice or watch what I do.
You start criticizing everything, like, why did I make that choice? Why am I making that face? Oh my God, there's like a pimple there. Why didn't I make sure,
My response is usually, who is that jerk? Why did they give him a job? What is going on there?
Yeah.
What is your relationship like with young Bruce going to be going into this season?
It's gonna evolve into a more teenage relationship because she's a young woman now. He's becoming a young man. It's the friendly stuff. It's going out the door. It's
really
a
little romance. Yes. I'm gonna keep throwing questions out so you keep shoulder shaking me. That's pretty cool. I mean, you had to have seen it going that way since the first season and sort of hope that the show was able to continue long enough to follow through on that, I would imagine.
Yeah, of course. And I've always loved the dynamic between Bruce and Selina, both in the comics and in our show, because Selina is very much in the gray area. You know, she's not black or white. She's very much in between. And Bruce is either black or white, never in the gray area. So that dynamic has always been really interesting to me because it's not your average relationship. You know, they come from two opposite worlds in the same city. She's this orphan who's had to survive on her own and make a living on her own, whereas he's a privileged boy and he didn't have to do anything for the money he has, you know? So they have very different outlooks on life, and I always love working on our scenes.
Are there any Catwomans that you look to for inspiration? Any of the older Catwomans? Because this is a prequel, so I'm curious, did you ever say like, oh, I feel like my character is really the Anne Hathaway Catwoman but younger, or the Michelle Pfeiffer Catwoman but younger?
No, I mean, I started doing
Maybe
that.
the Halle Berry Catwoman but younger?
Wait, what? No, why are people laughing? Okay, I haven't even seen that movie yet, guys, so don't do that to me.
I mean, that seemed like a pretty direct burn on the question, I gotta be honest with you.
I did a smirk. No,
It was cute. It was a cute burn, but it was a burn.
It was not a... Okay, it wasn't an intentional burn. I'm not a mean person, okay?
I loved it. Please, burn more.
No, it wasn't a... Okay, whatever. So, anyways, I love Halle Berry. Have you seen Frankie and Alice?
No.
One of my favorite movies. Watch it. Anyway.
I have seen Catwoman, though.
Okay, but initially I did... I don't know why people just twist intentions lately. Whatever. So anyways, initially I did start my research with that, but then I was like, well, going into it, the way I auditioned was from a perspective of her being a 14-year-old orphan and street thief who was vicious when cornered, very defensive, very guarded, and that's what I went into it with. So then I was like, why would I look to these great actors who played this character as an adult for inspiration for a character that's never been played before, and we've never gone into Catwoman's, origin story. So I felt like if I changed my perspective after I auditioned, I would lose it completely. So now I just watch the movies and read the comic books for fun, but not for inspiration.
Do you have a favorite villain in the show? There's so many to choose from, and they're
so
all
many,
really great.
I mean, I love all of them, honestly, because there's, stereotypically, there's the heroes and the villains, but what I love about our show is it shows the humanity of these people, whether they're humans or heroes or villains. Sorry.
That's okay.
I'm just getting over having bronchitis, so it's like lingering. Ain't nobody got time for that. But anyways, so I just had it. Where was I going?
The heroes and villains of the
Oh
show.
yeah. So the heroes have to do bad things to do good, and the villains actually are very, they start off as these great, kind people, and people just treat them badly, and they're like, screw it then. If you're going to treat me badly, I'm not going to treat you nicely. So that's what I love about our show, and that's why I love every single character, because there's so much complexity and depth in each person.
If there was a villain you could have a fight scene with, who do you wish to have a fight scene with?
Ooh. Well, okay. With or against?
Against, and then tell me with.
Against?
What's the difference, actually?
Okay, what I mean by with would be like kicking booty together.
Yeah.
But against would be like, screw you.
Yep. So screw you, and then kicking booty together.
I don't know, I've never thought about that actually. I think against would be interesting with Nigma because he plays mind games, whereas Selina is very physical. So I think that would be a cool concept. And in the comic books, Nigma and Catwoman hate each other. So I don't know. I mean, I love Corey, but with, I want to do a fight scene with Maggie, who plays the new Ivy. I think that would be really cool. And Barbara. Wow. Yeah.
At this point, going into the 3rd season of the show, how do you feel about your character in terms of when they bring new storylines for you? Do you have a say? Do you talk to them about it? Or do you just sort of absolutely love everything that they kind of bring you?
Both. They're always very receptive and welcoming to any ideas that I have, but normally the stuff is so good that I don't even need to say anything because it's just so good. And I mean, I tell them ideas and they're like, that's a good idea, but yeah.
Were you surprised when you first started shooting the show that it looked the way that it did? I mean, it looks, like you said, like a 40-minute movie. There are other comic book shows on television, but I don't think any of them really look as sort of robust as Gotham does.
Yeah, it's very cinematic, definitely. But, I mean, this is my first TV job, period. So going into it, I had no idea what to expect. I was kind of going with the flow, I guess. But when I watched it at the premiere, the pilot, I freaked out. I was like, because we watched it in a movie theater. So it was a huge screen, and it looked like a movie. I was like, whoa, this is cool.
That's me.
I'm literally on a big screen. That's when I liked watching myself. And then now it's just like.
Once was enough?
Yeah.
There you go. It's okay.
There's
water
here.
right there. I should have told you that earlier. That's on me. That's on me. Let's open it up to the audience for some questions. Does anyone have any questions out there? You right there.
Yes, hi.
Hi.
I wanted to know, what was one of the difficult scenes for you and how did you overcome it?
I'd say all the scenes that involve winter weather are difficult for me because Selina, first of all, I'm a Cali girl. I'm used to the sun and the beach and the heat and the sun and the beach and the heat. And coming here, we filmed the pilot in March of 2014, and I just about died because I brought spring clothes. You know, March in California is spring, not winter. Oh, my voice, I'm sorry. I was saying sorry to my voice. But I love you guys too. Hello. Oh, okay. So, all the scenes that involve the winter weather are difficult for me because Selina isn't fazed by anything, or at least she acts like she isn't fazed by anything. So, for me to act like I'm not cold when it's negative 15 degrees and I have literally no clothing on is really difficult for me. But I mean, the shots always look good, so.
Absolutely.
Cool.
Next question.
Hey.
Hi.
So in the show, you're kind of helping Bruce with, sort of on his way to becoming Batman. Do you think that your character would know that he's Batman eventually when he's older, or you guys are older?
That's a good question. I think Selina is pretty intuitive, and I think she'd probably figure out that he has some shady stuff going on, the 2 Live thing going on, but I don't think she would know that he's Batman because he is pretty secretive. So, yeah. Thank you.
Next question.
Hi.
Hi, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
Good. My question is, what's the hardest part about portraying Catwoman?
I mean, I don't know. Not necessarily the hardest part, but the part that I love about her is her complexity. The part that I love about her is the fact that she's full of contradictions. Like, she's intuitively troubled, honestly dishonest, and confidently lost. Like, she's full of contradictions. So I wouldn't say that there's anything difficult for me to play her because I love playing her and it's really fun for me, but the part that I most love about her is her contradictions. Thank you.
The show premieres, 3rd season premieres Monday night, right?
Yes.
September 19th, this upcoming Monday.
Yes.
What can people expect from Monday's premiere? Can you give us a little...
Awesomeness.
Just that, just
Yes.
pure awesomeness.
It's pure awesomeness. Everything is so good. The season is gonna be so good. I get distracted really easily. I'm a Gemini, and I like, my mom is a Scorpio, and she's like, Camren, pay attention, because she'll be talking to me, and I'll see something shining, and I'll be like.
Monday's premiere sounds awesome.
Yes, Monday's premiere sounds awesome. Thank you. Monday's premiere is, I'm so excited. I got to see it. We had the screening for it, and I think this season it's gonna be so great, and everybody's gonna love it. You don't have to be a Batman or a comic book fan to enjoy the show. It's so cinematic. The writing is so good, and the cast is freaking amazing. So yeah, even if you haven't watched it or kind of left it for some reason, which I don't understand why you would, but left it, come back this season. It's just so good.
I couldn't agree more. It's one of the best shows on TV. Congratulations. Monday night, Gotham premieres. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Camren.